Okay guys, Yellowjacket has been buffed, and so have many other champions, so it's kind of finally time to test them out. So first of all, we can see that Yellowjacket got a bit of a bump in his prestige. I think when I had him before as a 6-star, he was around 7,400 with my mastery setup, and now he's around 8,200, so that's pretty good. As you can see, his abilities have changed. He's got a different signature ability, and he's got all of his new stuff in place, like the nuclear core, the energy resistance, and some different things. But as you can still see, which is the quite worrying sign, the fact that, well, his ability set went from a power sting and precision to now a power sting and petrify. So he's still very, very lacking on his ability set, but I think we just need to test him out. So let's go. Okay, so for the first test to see this guy's potential, I'm just going to go into uncollected and let's see what we can do here with his damage. Just go on the easy path and see how his damage looks first, and then maybe try him out in Realm of Legends and see how that goes. So after testing him out against that Hela in this uncollected event, I decided I should take him against this Wolverine because I wanted to test out how good his Petrify is and how good his regen reduction is, because each nuclear core, each stack of 10, is reducing their healing by about 10%. So eventually when we get to 100, we should be actually turning it over and then completely getting rid of it. So then with that and the Petrify, we should be completely reversing the healing, and it should be doing some work on Wolverine, who heals quite a lot. As well as that, we have some, Petrifies on him and Power Stings if the fight goes long enough. But as you can see here, we're, reversing his healing quite nicely. We've also got into Overdrive, so we're doing a bit for extra damage. And the fight was over pretty quick. Now, since he does have a slow on his heavy attack, I want to test him out against this OG Spider-Man, see how well that works, and let's go from there. So in this fight, very similar to a character like She-Hulk, what we want to do is get a heavy attack off instantly to place that slow on the opponent, and then that slow lasts around 12 seconds, and we want to just make sure that we always have a slow on Spider-Man the whole time. A good thing, I guess, about Yellowjacket's slow is the fact that it places on the first hit of that heavy attack. So it's a 2-hit heavy attack, whereas on She-Hulk, it places the slow on the second hit. So I guess that's a bonus. However, She-Hulk's, I think, lasts a bit longer. But, I mean, hey, as you just saw there, he is a decent other option for that. So now, finally, I just want to test him against Realm of Legends Juggernaut because he's got a big health pool and he goes unstoppable, so we can test out the slow mechanic and how viable it is, and just see how these power stings do. So once again in this fight, like the last one against Spider-Man, we're not dealing with evade this time, but we are dealing with the unstoppable on Juggernaut's heavy attack. I mean, his special attacks. So as you can see here, there's a strange thing that's happening, which is his unstoppable symbol still stays there when we're placing the slow. However, he isn't unstoppable, so I don't know if that's an error. I mean, that happens sometimes, I think, but generally when you place him slow on an opponent, like you can see there, we counted his SP1, it would get rid of that unstoppable sign. However, it's staying there, but that's okay, I guess. Anyway, now we're going to try and build up to this SP3 to get a big power sting, which would maybe have a chance to refresh if he was awakened and very high sig. However, mine is obviously not, because he's a 6-star, and it's going to be very difficult for anyone with 6-star Yellowjacket to be able to get them to a very high sig. So this is quite unfortunate, really, because, a lot of people are going to have a high sig Yellowjacket. Maybe as a 5-star if you're a bit of a whale and you've duped him a lot of times from some calves or something. But other than that, most people might have an unawakened Yellowjacket. Anyway, he does have a pretty satisfying heavy, which is quite easy to counter on the SP1, which is pretty nice, and SP2. We're getting those power stings on the opponent with the SP1 as well, and now we're in overdrive and we've got this weird like yellow foggy mist around us glowing, and this is the symbol that we're going to deal some extra damage. It's not too much extra damage, but it's pretty nice. It's like 1,000 red damage we're getting here, like Red Hulk. Maybe because we're getting a bit more damage because we've got full synergies here and we've got the class advantage against a Mystic, but never mind. Another slightly annoying thing I found out, which is kind of a nerf, was the fact that the power stings have changed from a passive power sting to a just normal power sting. So now they are counting as a debuff, which means they could trigger things like masochism, which isn't too great. However, it could work in his favor for the science nodes and other nodes where you need to place lots of debuffs. So whatever way you take it, it's kind of good, it's kind of bad. We did just get hit in the face there, so yeah, it depends what you want really, but obviously for some matchups it will be more helpful and for some it won't. And we're in overdrive again right now. We're just launching off the SP2, not because it's a better special attack in this matchup. The power stings do deal a fair bit more damage. However, I just wanted to test the damage out in overdrive with the SP2. We're still hitting fairly noodly, as you can see, and this is just really proof that they have not improved his damage. The power stings and the overdrive extra damage is really the only source of more damage that we're getting in this matchup, which is kind of frustrating, and I just found it quite annoying that out of all the things they've given to this character, it's not damage, when that was the thing he was in most dire need of. Obviously this utility is pretty nice, but I'm just seeing some huge comparisons with She-Hulk, and She-Hulk just does it so much better, because he's got slow on the heavy, which She-Hulk has, and he's, so that's obviously one of the main parts of She-Hulk's kit. And then also, She-Hulk has tons and tons of damage, which he doesn't have, so that's a downside to him. But obviously, she also has the Petrify on that SP2, which he's also got, but it's just easier to access for She-Hulk, and the damage actually is there. Like, there's a ramp up with She-Hulk. Yellowjacket's damage is going nowhere. So I'm just finding it really hard to think of who is going to ever use this guy, and if his utility, which is pretty niche, is going to be used when there are better options in the science class, like Captain America Infinity War and She-Hulk, who are better for slow and evade and unstoppable champions. And yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. His power stings don't even deal enough damage to be on the level of like Spider-Ham, who is a better science champion all around, and he doesn't even have a taunt, which She-Hulk has been built in, and Spider-Ham has in his kit as well, like Spider-Man. So yeah, he's seeming more like he's just going to be a very, very annoying defender in some cases, and if you're going to face him in Variant 2, as those 3 bosses in the last chapter, it might be a bit more annoying, so quite frustrating really on that side. However, he has got some improvements. So altogether, I would say I am fairly underwhelmed. However, after seeing the notes and the release stuff, I was kind of expecting this. Until I saw the information, I was pretty hyped about it because I thought he has the most potential because he has the least kit and there's so much more to add to him, so when they do a rework, they can add the damage and the utility. However, as you can see here, they added the utility and forgot the damage, and without the damage, he isn't viable enough on my account to be used in Act 6 or Act 7 or Variants or other stuff, and he'll just have to go on the bench, and I might even place him on Alliance War Defense just for the jokes. Luckily, I think the Mole Man, Terrax, and Kingpin buffs have going to be a much, much better, so I'm very happy for anyone who has those guys as 6 or 5 star. Unfortunately, I have Mole Man as a rank 1 5 star. I don't have the resources to rank him up, and I have Terrax as 5 star, but I do not have a Kingpin, so I can't test him out, but I might do a video on Terrax in the future. But yeah, it's just a bit of a disappointment, and I don't see them coming back to this guy, but I am kind of happy that they've done something with him, but it's just not what he needs, and there's many more characters who can do it so much better, so unfortunately, not too pleased. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you think about this buff, and if you've tested him out, and if you think he has the worst buff out of the 4 right now, and who is your favourite buff champion, all of that stuff in the comment section. Yeah, so thanks for watching again, once again, and bye.